Welcome back to Woodruff Woods. Hey, I had a busy weekend this weekend. It was Memorial Day weekend. Certainly hope you paused and thought about what the holiday was about, why you had work off on Monday. I know I certainly did. Didn't shoot much video. I got called by a friend on Saturday. He said, hey, I got a couple of logs for you. Turned out he had a lot of logs for me. But I did shoot some video of them pushing one of those logs out of the woods. And before I forget, I want to apologize for the audio in the last video. My media mod for my GoPro 9 actually, I don't know, crapped out on me. I'd been on the phone with GoPro afterwards. There was really no way to recover the audio perfectly. I did the best I could with it, but I do apologize for that quality. Today I'm using just the microphone on the camera, so hopefully this will work out. If not, hopefully my media mod will be back. I really want to have it for next week for the Firewood Frenzy out in the Midwest, out in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. And if you're going to be there, I'd ask that you make a comment down below and let me know that you'll be there. But anyway, going back to my weekend, I ended up taking a bunch of black walnut, oak, and a bunch of ash off of this property. They were clearing it out for an expanded parking lot. I didn't want to shoot a lot of video because I was in the back of their parking lot and they have a lot of equipment, and I really didn't want to show that publicly without talking to the owner about it. But I did meet his grandson. And Aiden, I'm really appreciative that you actually subscribe to my channel, and I hope you enjoy this video, and you'll see your grandfather pushing this tree out with his friend. So hope you enjoy that. So this is what we got from that job you just saw us working on, so far anyway. Also, a load of this walnut went to one of my buddies who has a sawmill. So pretty good load of wood. That pile to the right there is ash and oak. This is primarily black walnut, but there is some ash in there. Actually, there's one piece of maple I see peeking out there too. So anyway, for free, it's great wood. So I'm gonna get moving this around, get it out of my way so I can bring another load. So what I've been doing here is I'm trying to sort all of my wood by species. So I'm piling the black walnut down below. I'm piling all the ash over here. I do have an oak tree in there, which I'll be pulling out. But I'll wait until I'm cutting to do that. my friend Mark, who you met in a couple of videos, mushroom video and the old barn video, gave me one of these, actually 3 of these. They are an old picaroon. This one's probably in the best shape of any of them. So I took one of them that was in very bad shape and I tried to reshape it and polish it up a little bit, and we have this. And I'm the first one to admit this is not perfect. My shaping skills with a grinder aren't the best, but I do think it's pretty cool. I have some ideas for this, which I'll get to in a later video. But also, I did finish up this many weeks ago. I don't know if I showed you. And actually, I got a little bit of a mark on there. But you can see, got a nice patina on it. And I'm going to be mounting that to a handle, and I'm going to record that. One of my regular viewers asked me if I would record me actually hanging this on a handle. So I have a Trooper handle, and I'm going to put this on there. I actually took the Trooper, sanded it down. I don't like the varnish on those. I've mentioned that before, and I did it with linseed oil. So we got a nice looking handle to put on this, and I'll do that here in a moment. But what I most want to talk to you about is something I found on eBay. So actually I'm going to switch to my camera, or my iPhone, because I think I can show this to you better on that, and I can talk you through it. And you can hear we're getting a thunderstorm, so I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to be standing out here. I may need to move inside. So stick with me, I'll show you what I bought. So I've moved back in the garage here. I actually am still using the GoPro. But I bought this. It is a double bit axe head. I found this on eBay, and I'll bring this in close. Hopefully you can see it. It says the Man Edge Tool Company, Lewistown, Pennsylvania. So I used to live in Lewistown, used to work there. And each day, I shouldn't say each day, but many days we would go to a Chinese restaurant that was in the Lewistown Hotel. And across the road on Water Street was the Man Edge Tool Company. And oftentimes you could hear the forge hammers hitting, and that was axes being made. In 2003, the Man Edge Tool Company was bought out by Trooper, which I just mentioned is one of the handles I bought. And I've actually bought another one for this, which we'll be doing in a later video. But anyway, one of the things that really surprised me when I got this was I was looking for a Man Edge because it's just nostalgic for me. But if you can look real close, it's engraved BLM. And it's not the BLM that we know of today. What that stands for is the Bureau of Land Management. And if you look in another area, actually in 2 areas, I believe it is. Oh no, it's only one. I'm going to try to show this to you. Having a little trouble here, but I'll find it. So right at the edge of my finger, you'll see CCC, and it's followed by FS. So with a little research, I found out what that was. It is the Civil Conservation Corps, and it's Forestry Service. So I did some more research on this axe and what this all means. And the Civil Conservation Corps was something that was put into effect during the Great Depression around 1929. It was in effect, I believe, about 11 years. Roosevelt had done this as a way of putting young men, typically 17 to I think it was 28, could join the Civil Conservation Corps. They were paid $25 a week, and they would go out and they would do conservation projects, building state parks, bridges, erosion control, a slew of things, and it would depend on what camp you were in. So in Pennsylvania, we had many camps. And so this kind of struck home. I have no idea where this axe was. I know it came from Montana, but it kind of gives me a cool piece of history in addition to a little bit of nostalgia. So, you know, I picture, you know, someone, you know, some young man going through the woods and using this. I found it kind of neat. You can see If we look right in here, you can actually see where it was sharpened on a stone. It's got the right marks for that. Someone's touched it up since then. And I'd like your opinion too. If I should try to restore this or just leave it as is. I haven't really decided what I want to do here. You know, it is a little bit out of shape, not too bad. Someone clearly tried to file the one side. But you know, the most important part to me was having man edge axe. And so, you know, in my research, I found out too that man edge was actually started by the Mann brothers, and really was one of the first forgeries for axe heads. And prior to that, you know, you went to your local blacksmith and they would hammer you out an axe, and they typically made it out of two pieces and did a process that they called welding, but it was forge welding, and hammered it out for you. So anyway, I looked into obviously the one in Lewistown, but it took me way back to early 1800s. The Manns were involved in so many of the names we know for axes: Plum, Collins, that's to name a few. They made axes for many other companies. The interesting part of this is that the axe companies had formed a trust in the late 1800s. And this was something common in the late 1800s, especially post-Civil War. Various industries created these trusts. They did price fixing, what we now know as antitrust. So if you didn't know what that meant, it really meant that these trusts are prohibited because they limit competition. Well, the Manns kind of had a falling out with the trust, and they went their separate ways. They had some of these axe factories around State College, Pennsylvania. There was one in Reedsville, Pennsylvania, one in Yeagertown, Pennsylvania, and one in Lewistown, Pennsylvania, which really was the most surviving one. Many times in the early days, these burned down. You know, they didn't have fire controls like we do today, sprinkler systems and that sort of thing. So they were really subject to fire. And if you want to join along with me, I'll as I put this together, I'll do a little bit of a slideshow and show you a little bit about the Mann brothers and who they were and what they meant to axes in the United States. So for this process of hanging a head on an axe or on an axe handle, I like to use this tool. It's got a rounded side, it's got a flat side. What I typically do is I sit the axe on there and I get a peek down in and I see where it's hanging up. And I try to shape the axe in a way, the axe handle, in a way that allows it to go down onto the... So I'll continue to do this until I get the axe to slide down onto the handle. And I like it to be kind of snug. I like to try to take it off both sides if I can. Just so that the axe fits on there as tightly as possible. Obviously when I wedge it, it will tighten it up significantly. So, you know, it looks pretty good except for right up in this area here. That's where I need to work. So I'm going to shut the camera off and do a little work on this. So I've had to reshape this down here considerably using the rasp. As a matter of fact, I probably need to take a little more there. But I'm starting to get down here into the thick part, so I'm going to call this good enough. Hopefully it's enough to crown above the top of the axe head. So I'll touch this up, put the axe head on, and show you what I got. So as you can see, I probably went down a little too low in spots. But I did get that crown I'm looking for, so we'll start driving a wedge in there. And hopefully I can touch this up a little bit with some sandpaper, make it look all nice. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with the way this is fitting on there. This axe head did not fit this handle extremely well. I had a lot of sanding to do here. But I'll move this around a little bit, get the most out of it, touch it up with some sandpaper, put the wedge in. So I got the wedge. I did trim a little bit off the side. You can probably see where I trimmed it with my pocket knife. Actually, that side looks a little wider. So put that on the back side. And you can see it's about the same size. I'll try to move my fingers. About the same size as the head of the handle. And I've got a little piece of wood here. Oops, almost dropped it. So it'd be much easier if I did this in the vise, but I'm trying to show you on camera, and that's making it a little more difficult. Let me move my feet in here. That might help. All right, and so then we'll tap this in. And this will only go in so far. And what we're looking for is the top of the head to mushroom out past the edge of the axe head. And we're getting there, very close. And I think I've run out of room here. I forgot to do something. I usually put some wood glue on this. Strongly recommend you do that. It usually makes for a tighter fit. And we're just a little sideways here. I don't know if I can, that actually appears like I can get it right up out now. So let me try to tap that way. Getting a pretty good mushroom on that. You can see that looking down the side, you're seeing it mushroom over the side. And that's exactly what we want to happen. So my next process here, and like I say, the glue's not, I mean, I like to glue them in, and the process of trying to show you what I was doing here, I kind of screwed this up. But if I can get that back out, get a little glue down in there, I will. Actually, I see a way I can do it. There's a little hole here. So I might try to get a little glue down in there, cut this off level with the top of the head of the handle, and we'll put in our side wedges. So this is the finished product. You can see we tapped this wooden wedge in. I did that with another piece of wood and a hammer. Then I just used the hammer to drive these two wedges in sideways. Probably should have had this one slid down a little bit more. There was a mark on this to say put one here. I normally don't do that. I usually come down a little bit further. But this came out pretty well. Let me show you here sideways, if I can. You can see the mushroom on the head there. So this axe head will not fly off. And, you know, I'm pretty happy with this. You know, I got a nice seal down there. It's seated on there quite nicely. And the best part is I didn't take the imperfections out of this. This was one of them that I blued, and you know, it's got a little character, and we can only wonder, you know, what this has seen in its lifetime. But we saved it from the dump, pulled it out of a barn, and turned it into a useful tool again. So hey, that's gonna do it for Woodruff Woods today, and we will catch you on the next one.